I tell you why is it annoying. Now, let's check this out. Oh, no, it didn't sound. Oh, that was a fail. Oh, now it sounds. This guy is so slow. Oh yeah, whatever. What we have here today is the 4th generation Kia Sorento. Now you look at it on first glance, you can immediately tell that this is a blown and exploded version of the Kia Stonic. The front especially, this whole thing that you call tiger nose grille, or what Kia calls tiger nose grille, is now a lot more pronounced compared to its predecessor where it's a little bit more curvy. This has got a lot of sharp edges to it, making it a lot more aggressive than it already is. This whole bumper right here, it becomes a lot thicker, like a beef burger of sorts, right? You get 18-inch wheels on this SX Tech trim. Now at the side, you look at it, it's huge. In fact, me standing beside it just makes me look like super small. But anyway, the size has grown. In fact, you can even have this up against some of the 7-seater German car makers in the market. Huge. But here's a fun fact. This is the 4th generation, right? The 1st generation Kia Sorento, which none of us actually remembers, back in 2002, is actually a front engine rear-wheel driven car. Can you imagine a rear-wheel driven SUV this size? It's crazy. But okay, anyway, this is what I really want to talk about. Now, a lot of people look at this taillights and they want to say, oh, you know what? Well, it looks exactly like the Ford Mustang. Like the whole world is saying it's a Ford Mustang because of this split. They're not wrong. But in my eyes, for some reason, looking at these vertical slats somehow reminds me a little bit of the Kia Palisade. Kia Palisade. You know, the Kia Palisade has these lights. They're not split, they're together, but it's not the usual horizontal sort of tail lights. So I look at it and I don't know, for some reason, just gives me the Palisade feel, which is a very premium, instantly recognizable sort of look. But in case you can't recognize this, you have Sorento right here, telling the rest of the world behind you, this is the sort of car you're driving. Now, enough said about the car's looks. I made a mistake, by the way. I thought the boot opening was here. I was looking and hunting for it, but it's actually right below here. So, there you go. Now, obviously, being an SUV, this car passes the anti-trolley length test. And of course, a check-in luggage test as well, so that's all fine and dandy. If I were to take this out, in this format, just pull this back up and tape it back in so that it doesn't run around. So it's quite neat actually, it's Velcro. But okay, anyway, in this format, you get 187 liters worth of boot space. Now it's actually quite pathetic. It's probably as pathetic as the space you get in a compact hatchback like the ZC32's Swift Sport, where the luggage space is just ridiculous. The hauling capacity is just ridiculous. You can only put probably one luggage at best, and one hand carry luggage at best. But knock the seats down just by pulling this string lever right here. Folds flat, it gives you 616 liters worth of boot space. Now this is highly reasonable. It's not the best in its class because if memory serves correctly, the Peugeot 5008 gives you like what, 780 liters worth of boot space. So this sort of loses out, but it'll definitely get the job done. But if it doesn't for you, for some reason, there are buttons here that will fold the second row flat, just like that. See how convenient that is? It is just highly functional, highly convenient, and is flat all the way. So in this configuration, you get like some 2011 liters. It's ridiculous because this would probably fit like 6 of me, 4 of John, maybe 5 of Idris. I don't know. But yes, well done. The Kia Sorento SX Tech Pack is priced at $166,999. The 2.2 litres direct injection diesel engine produces 200 brake horsepower and 440 Nm of torque. The 8-speed dual-clutch transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 in 9 seconds. For more details on the Kia Sorento or any other car, head on to sgCarMart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. All right. There we go. I'm having ample leg room, as you can see, but I think it's because the seat isn't completely reclined to a comfortable angle, and it's still relatively placed in front. So the guy in front the guy who's seated in front can actually move back a little bit more and can recline his seat for his comfort, for whatever comfort purposes. So I'll still get sufficient leg room for sure. But then again, because I'm probably the shortest editor and host in the industry, so that don't really count. But I do reckon if John or Idris were here, they would actually still get enough leg room to last through quite a journey distance. Actually, it's quite comfortable at the back. You get cubby holes here to put your drinks. You get a long thing here. I think it's probably to put your phone, like this. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't see any aircon vents, and I'm sweating buckets right now. Yep, no aircon vents. But you get speakers, and you get hooks. Actually, there are hooks right here for you to put your mee po tang or mee po teng or whatever, so you can actually hang your noodles right here if you don't really want to carry. But all in all, it's definitely going to be comfortable and spacious for kids. Cool. All right. Seats I'm on, it's quite comfortable. In fact, I just put it, oh, this is all the way back. I can actually recline it. Woohoo! It's really comfortable, it's really nice. I can just relax over long distance journeys. Perfect. Even when I'm seated like this, it's quite well reclined. I'm not straight up, I'm not like crazy straight, so it's relatively good and comfortable. This seat right here, the center seat, nice and flat, very even out. So if I were to sit here, still comfortable, still soft. My feet can actually put, because transmission tunnel is down low, I can put in the middle. I don't even have to put my feet like sideways, it's still like straight. So because of that, 3 adults, or at least 3 Singaporean adults will be able to fit in here, no problems at all. You get ISOFIX points as well. But here's the really cool stuff, right? The whole cabin is filled with a lot of cubby holes. One here, you got 1 cup holder here, 1 cup holder here, and if that's not enough, for some reason, you got 2 here. But because there isn't any cubby holes for you to put your phone, this comes in very, very handy, and you don't really get a lot of this in this class or in any other class for that matter. So this comes in handy. You can just put a phone here, sit back and relax and just look at your phone for some whatever reason that is. But one thing I really, really can appreciate is this right here. Aircon vents. In fact, I have 1 aircon blowing at me, or 2 vents actually blowing at me. On fan speed 2, I can still feel the aircon, so that's always a good and welcome thing. Just below here is piano black plastics. I've got 1 12-volt adapter for you and 1 USB port. Now, because the USB port is down there, it's a bit out of place when there's nothing for you to hold your phone or your iPad or whatever. So if I have to plug in my phone here, it's just going to be on the floor like this. So it's kind of weird, but I think Kia has thought about that because it's really cool. You can actually see 2 USB ports right here on the back of the seat. So that's like the first time that I'm seeing such a thing. I haven't really tried plugging in. I haven't really tried if it actually works. I don't doubt that it does. But once you plug it in, you can either put your phone here to rest, or you can just plug it in right here. There you have it. Perfect. Alright, let's just put this phone in like 1 of 10,000 cubby holes in the car. This Kia Sorento is properly posh and surprisingly premium. You'll never hear me say something like that about a Kia, I'll be honest. But yes, you're hearing me right. This car is properly posh and surprisingly premium. The steering wheel, nothing to shout about. Multifunctional, feels very normal. I mean, like, it feels good to the touch though, but it's just very normal. But I think it's beyond that onwards where everything just starts to transform and change. It's a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. I don't really know what Kia calls it. I think it's like TFT cluster. I don't know what, it's rubbish. It is an instrument cluster and a proper one at it. Toggle this and you can go through all your accumulated info. You can see like what's your fuel consumption, how long you've driven, how much distance you're left with before you're completely juiced out. You can also see what your urea level is. Urea level. I don't even know what the hell urea level is. Sounds vulgar, but anyway, moving on. Dashboard here, very simply laid out, very cool, nice to the touch, soft rubber. There's even stitches right here to make you think that this is leather, but it's not, but it's a very nice touch. Below it is plastics, hard, solid plastics that feel and look like it'll last for good 10 years. It's a diamond cut sort of design on it, something that's just similar to this. Kind of reminds me of cheese grater. I don't remember seeing one of these or this design in any one of Kia model lineups, but this is the first time, and it's definitely a good, nice design. This here has completely changed. First time I'm seeing as well. This 10.25 touchscreen infotainment system. Let's just see, there is no lag at all. Check it out. You can no lag. Oops. Oh, yep. Okay. So this right here, very nice. Bose sound system. All right, okay, so enough about the music. Bose sound system, very nice, very crisp. Right here, on the piano black surface, you have what you need to control your aircon stuff. Quite cool. The only setback complaint that I have is this here is completely filled like piano black plastic. So you tend to see a lot of fingerprints on it, but if you are particular, you can probably just carry a cloth with you and just clean whenever you want. This right here opens up nicely and slowly to a wireless charging system. You have 3 USB ports, 2 for charging your phone, and 1 I think is just for regular USB to just like, you know, play your music and stuff. Ample space. You even have more than enough to put a like, wallet and all that kind of stuff. Now here, beside my personal favorite, ventilated seats. The only sorts of seats that car manufacturers should be making. Buttons right here, something you can adjust or meddle with on a daily basis or almost on a daily basis. You have a heated steering wheel button right here, which you really don't need in Singapore. You have auto hold function, my favorite, hill descent control, and rear view parking, and so on and so forth. And of course, the main one is the electronic park brake button, something that just enhances the whole premium feel of the car. I reckon this whole thing is already good enough. Like, as if it's not airy and huge enough, Kia decided to put a panoramic sunroof. It stretches from here right to the back or the start of the 3rd row seat, so it's huge. That just enhances and just makes the cabin that much airier than it already is. Time to find out how it drives. One way to find out. The 4th generation Kia Sorento. When you're in it, behind the wheel, the car sort of feels safe and secure. It feels really solid, and it really feels substantial. It's exactly how you'd want an SUV to feel, especially at least if you're in the market looking for an SUV. These are the sorts of qualities that you want to feel in an SUV. Not only that, on the road where we're driving now, the roads are fairly smooth, but before that, we were going over a lot of bumps and ruts and a lot of broken tarmac and all that kinds of stuff. This car, its suspension setup is comfort biased, so it manages to soak up all the bumps and ruts and all the broken tarmac with ease. And confidently, in fact, without sending any of the vibrations to the cabin. So you and your passengers don't really feel like, oh, it's so uncomfortable and stuff. Nothing of that sort. However, that said, because of its suspension setup, because it's comfort biased, if you decide to take this car around bends faster than normal, it will roll around. Inevitably, given its height, given its size, you tend to feel a bit of roll here and there. Another small little complaint, and that's just really complaining really, is this. This, while it's relatively weighted, it's not well weighted, it's just relatively weighted because it's not crazy light. It's very vague, so you don't really know what's in front and underneath you at all, especially when you make turns. But I suspect buyers of this car won't really go and bother about driving this car like a madman anyway, so I suppose that's really, really forgivable. Thankfully, where it lacks, it more than makes up for its ample torque. Now, this car, a 2.2 litre diesel, pumps out some 200 brake horsepower and 440 Newton meters of torque via the new 8-speed dual clutch transmission. Now, because of this, the car manages to finish the century sprint in about 9 seconds. Now, we're talking about a car that weighs over 1.8 tons. If you're just talking like 200 brake horsepower for 1.8 tons, it's absolute rubbish. But thankfully, because of the 440 Newton meters of torque that comes in just at about 1,750 RPM, overtaking is done with absolute ease. Here you go. Illegal speeds, illegal speeds. The things that I really don't like about this car is the blind spot monitoring system. Now, it's special. In fact, it's the first in its class that I've seen. I'm just gonna show it to you guys, right? If I were to change lanes, okay, apart from this, I really hate this thing. You see that? Cameras from the rear side actually comes on depending on which side, corresponding side signal. So if I decide to change back to the right, or to the right actually, see how it actually comes on? So it's definitely good to have because the vehicle is huge on the road. It takes a while before you get used to placing the car on the lanes, so you can actually tell whether you're too near the curb or too near the divider or too near the lines. That sort of help. However, you need time to get used to. Like when you change lanes, you check the mirror and then you check your blind spot. You don't go changing and then you look here. You don't. So I reckon I could do without this. Another thing that I could do without is every time when I start the vehicle, the lane assist thing comes on. Lane driving assist, I think that's what you call it. It's very annoying because, this button, I have to press and hold it before I can deactivate it. Now, it's annoying because, say late at night and I'm driving and I decide to just change lanes without signaling, the steering wheel, the lane assist will pull you back into lane. So it's like a push and pull sort of feel, and I have to overcome it by fighting it. It's like a lover's quarrel, you know what I mean? It's just annoying. I kind of want to be in full control of the car. So when these nannies take over, I get a little bit annoyed. I can switch it off, but it's just a hassle because I have to switch it off every time I step into the car, and I don't really like that. It's a bit of a hassle. So, big question, right? Will buy, won't buy, or go try the 4th generation Kia Sorento? My answer is will definitely buy this car. I will definitely buy this car. Actually, to be really, really specific, I won't buy this SX Tech variant, which costs $166,999 as of today, time of video. I'll actually get the variant, the base variant, the one below it, which is just SX. That's $10,000 cheaper. Why? Because that comes without the nannies. That comes, unfortunately, without the Bose speakers. That can be fitted aftermarket. Actually, that's it. Everything else that you see here, the size of the screen, the crisp of the infotainment system, 8-speed dual clutch, multifunctional, everything, the lights, LED and all, it comes standard, including 18-inch wheels. So, I'll get that because I really don't like the nannies. I'll do without it. But that aside, this car is probably one of the most complete family 7-seater SUVs in the market right now. Probably even the most, I would say the most affordable. Is it the most affordable? Yeah, it's probably the most affordable 7-seater SUVs in the market right now. It looks good. It drives really well. And it's highly functional. And I think what really got me sold is how functional this car really is. And if you're in the market looking for a 7-seater SUV for your family, functionality is one of your top priorities, and that's just what you're looking. This car serves its purpose. It excels in every way, from knocking the seats down to like shifting the second row to get into the third row, and space and comfort. This car aces in every front. It checks every box. And I'm just mighty impressed with this. I never knew that I would say this about a Kia Sorento, but given a choice, personal car, will I even buy this? I actually would. I just can't afford 156,999, that's all. But I really would buy this car. In fact, I just texted my wife and said, maybe we should consider getting a Kia Sorento. And she said, maybe you need to wait for a couple of years so that your car would break even first. But anyway, that's another story for another time. There you have it. That is the review of the all-new Kia Sorento. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video as much as I've driven it. What a car! Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please do share this video with your family and friends. Please also feel free to comment in the comment box below and let us know whether or not you will buy, won't buy, or go try the Kia Sorento. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Stay safe, be well. Ciao.